Hey, this is Jared and you're watching Backroad Exploration. I'm really excited to be out on another adventure exploring the desert in Utah. One of the things that I love about living in Utah is that there's so much rich Native American history here, and the San Rafael Swell is chock full of it. There's amazing different places where there's granaries where they saved and stored food. There's a bunch of pictograph panels that are really interesting. I have been to some of them, but there's several that I have never been to, and I'm sure there's some deep into some of the canyons that you can only hike to that have maybe never been found, or at least I've never seen them. So today we're going to be doing a bunch of exploring in the San Rafael Swell on some trails that I've never been on, checking out different spurs and overlooks and things like that. Hopefully checking out a pictograph panel that I've never seen. And then I'm going to be joined this evening by my brother Mike, who's going to be on the adventure with us tomorrow as we head into Black Dragon Wash and check out the panel there, which I've never seen. We have 2 really incredible days in the desert planned. Let's hit the trail. Right here is why I love to get off of the main routes that head through the swell. We're on Red Seep Road right now, which is just barely off of Buckhorn Draw. And it's just this nice little narrow sandy desert track. Nice and fun to drive. Certainly a lot slower than the well-graded Buckhorn Draw, but a lot more fun too. Just cruising along on this little spur trail, and there's this really cool like rock canyon. It's pretty interesting because almost everything's like, you know, sand and stuff on top. Obviously there must be rock underneath it, and as it goes down into this little bit of a wash, it's totally washed out. There's all these boulders and rocks everywhere. Pretty cool little rock formation. We're headed down this little spur trail. I believe it comes to a little lookout point over at Buckhorn Draw Wash, and what's really interesting is up on top up here there's a lot of these little junipers, I believe they are, trees, and it's just, you know, a lot of vegetation. It's kind of surprising when you're out here in the desert and there's this many trees. I've seen a lot of, you know, chickmunks and squirrels and other wildlife. A lot different and contrasty compared to the kind of red rock and sand I was in the last couple adventures, just a few miles the other direction and dropping elevation a few hundred feet. One of the reasons that I love coming down spur trails is because they lead to stuff like this. The view from the end of this spur trail is incredible. The spot up there would make a great campsite. We have a long ways to go, so we're not going to camp there tonight, but comes out, looks out over at Buckhorn Wash. Really, really beautiful. Check this out. We've jumped into this really cool little canyon and headed out to these pictographs. It's called Prickly Pear Flat right here. And man, this is really cool. It's just an in and out trail. My guess is, you know, probably like 6-7 miles, and really, really cool. Definitely worth taking the time to go and check all this out. We have made it to our first set of pictographs on this adventure, and this is so cool. It's a really remote trail that comes into here. Not a lot of traffic. In fact, we only saw one vehicle on the way out as we were coming in, and a little bit rough, nothing technical, but well worth it. Check out these incredible pictographs. We've been here just checking out these incredible pictographs, and I'm just always amazed by how hardy these Native Americans had to have been. This is pretty barren land. We are kind of like in a little bit of a draw here, so I'll bet that they were able to, you know, animals would graze out there and things that they could hunt and things like that, but it's still, this is definitely the desert, and I would love to be able to just go back in time and just get a glimpse of some of these, you know, Native American peoples. Most likely these pictographs were done by the Fremont Indians, but just absolutely incredible. You can see this one right here just eroded over time and can't really tell what it is at all anymore. But I'll bet this whole wall at one point in time had it, because you can see they start way over here and it kind of comes up like this. You see more here. Definitely some that used to be down here and along the wall here. Although this whole wall was just covered in just over thousands of years. It's gone away, but it's amazing that some of them are still here. Is that we are having a blast. The bad news is we are not making great time right now. It's so hard for me to predict how long a trail is going to take, and we've been moving a lot slower than I thought we would. It is like 5:30, but we're jumping on a little bit faster road now and going to start making our way down towards the I-70 portion of the San Rafael Swell so that we can meet up with Mike and his crew tonight. I have to say, this has been one of my favorite days out on the trail I have had in such a long time. It was so beautiful, all tons of cool two-track that I've never been on. Amazing seeing those pictographs. We have several more pictograph panels we're going to be taking a look at tomorrow. Because it has taken me a lot longer to get here than I thought, we actually totally changed where we're going to meet. I found a really cool campsite off of the Green River Cutoff Road, which will make it so that Mike can actually meet us up quicker. And perfect. So I'm just going to be setting up camp, getting some dinner going from there. So I've had this tray now for a couple of months, absolutely loving it. I installed it this winter. I wish I would have bought it so long ago. It makes organizing so much better up here. And I kind of have like a nice little kitchen movement. So I've got the fridge here, got some of the dry goods and things like that. This is utensils, different things like that, cooking supplies. And then obviously I've got the stove. So it works really well that I can just move from one to the other, and I can use this nice flat spot as a nice tray to kind of just work off of. I'm absolutely loving this thing. So the nice thing about some tacos or something like this, we've got some nice sauce for the tacos. In here I've got rice and some corn. For me, the boys don't really love it. For them, I do just regular cheese and a tortilla. This is like some specialty cheese, and I've got some pico de gallo and guacamole over there too for me, but